Please stand. So a very warm welcome. Thank you for being with us this morning for our special Buddhist birthday service. Our service this morning will be officiated by the Venerable Haju Sunam. It's traditional on special occasions like our Buddhist birthday formal service to chant and repeat the three refuges 3 times. So let's start first with our Sino-Korean rendition in keeping with our Sun tradition handed down to us from the monasteries of southern Korea. And then we'll go to a Pali version handed down to us from the original time of the Buddha, or pretty close to it. And then we will have an English version composed by one of our former Dharma teachers. Yes. So please join in. And let's just all here step a little together so that we're on the camera. Can you step in too, please, Malum and Anne, just over here. And we've also got Haiyuan covering the direction in the back. She's here too. Share And the Pali, please respond after me. Namo Buddhaya. No, that's wrong. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. For the third time, the English version by Parmita Ladle, who is with us this morning and will be singing some of his other songs later. For the three refuge song, Jagwa will sing it for us.
I put my trust in the Buddha, and I resolve that with all beings I will realize the great way, and I will cultivate a garden where the Buddha seed may forever thrive, and I will grow a heart of enlightenment. I put my trust in the Dharma, and I resolve that with all beings I will penetrate sutra treasures, and I will pass through Dharma gates beyond all measure, uncovering wisdom as vast as the ocean. I put my trust in the Sangha, my brothers and sisters in times of need, and I resolve that nothing will impede our gentle walk to a world that's free, liberated society. I put my trust in these jewels three, perfect and complete right now inside of me, each moment. And I resolve that with all beings I will dedicate each moment to their realization in this lifetime. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, in this lifetime.
Please be seated now, and let's prepare for the chanting of the Great Compassion Dharma, which will be led for us by Mawun. What's the page of the Great Compassion Dharma is on page 21 of the Moon Journeying Through Clouds liturgy book.
Great compassion, Dharani, Shinyo Jonggu Te Dharani, Namo Radharaya Dharaya, Namaraya Harukije, Sevaraya Moji Sadabaya Mahasadabaya Mahakaronidaya Om Sarvavaye Sudarana Daraya Dasamyam Brahmakaridava Imamaya Arokije Sevarathavaniraganta Navakarinaya Bala Isa Sadanam Subhadayayam Sababodhanam Pavavarami Sudhaga sami sami nasaya mohajarami sami nasaya poro poro mara poro hare panava nava sara sara siri siri soro soro mocha mocha modaya modaya medariya niraganta kamasa nasadam hara haranaya manasavaha sitaya savaha mahasitaya savaha sitayuye sevaraya savaha niragantaya savaha haraham Moka Sinhamokaya Savaha Hanavahataya Savaha Shakara Yogaya Savaha Sankasoprane Modanaya Savaha Maharakutaraya Savaha Pamasadanta Isasijaya Karina Vinaya Savaha Yagaraja Vipasanaya Sabaha Namoratanadara Yaya Namagarya Arokije Sevaraya Samaha.
Remembering the teachings. Buddhist Charter of Inquiry, Palamasutta. Do not believe anything on mere hearsay. Do not believe in traditions merely because they are old and have been handed down for many generations in many places. Do not believe anything on account of rumors or because people talk a great deal about it. Do not believe because the written testimony of some ancient sage is shown to thee. Do not believe in what you have fancied, thinking that because it is extraordinary, it must have been inspired by a god or other wonderful being. Do not believe anything merely because presumption is in its favor, or because the custom of many years inclines you to take it as true. Do not believe anything merely on the authority of your teachers and priests, but whatsoever, after thorough investigation and reflection, is found to agree with reason and experience as conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, and of the world at large, that only accept as true, and shape your life in accordance therewith. The same text, said the Buddha, must be applied to his own teachings. Do not accept any doctrine from reverence, but first try it as gold is tried by fire.
The Metta Sutta.
This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing, in gladness and in safety may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they be weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a parent protects with their life their child, their only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, reaching upward to the skies and downward to the depths, outward and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this meditation. This is said to be the sublime abiding.
The story of the birth of the Buddha from Rafe Martin in his Hungry Tigers.
It was long ago in India that Queen Maya, wife of King Suddhodana, dreamed of a 6-tusked white elephant that entered her room and touched her right side with a lotus flower. The king called for his wise men to interpret the dream. They all predicted that a child destined for greatness would soon be born. If he follows a worldly path, they announced, he will become a great ruler, even emperor of the world. If he recognizes the truth of impermanence, he will seek a higher life. He will leave the palace in quest of enlightenment. Undergoing much hardship, he will finally attain complete understanding and become a teacher to gods, beasts, and humankind. The queen was overjoyed, but King Suddhodana, while rejoicing, was troubled. He could not help but think of how he might protect his son from hardship and danger, and of how he might help him become the great man who would rule the world. One day, almost 10 months later, Queen Maya set out to give birth in the home of her parents. On the way, she passed a magnificent park near the town of Lumbini. There, she and her attendants stopped to rest in a grove of ancient sal trees. Queen Maya wandered through the gardens until she stood beneath the largest and oldest tree in the grove. She reached up to touch the petals of an open blossom. White and golden yellow lotus petals tumbled from the skies in a rain of flowers. The earth breathed forth delicate odors, jasmine, rose, and sandalwood. From the air itself came magically sounding a music of silvery bells and of high, clear voices singing in a language of delight. Her child was born. Skywalking devas appeared at the mother's side and washed the child in streams of heavenly dew. The baby Buddha took 7 steps, and at each step, a lotus blossom sprang up to support his feet. Raising one hand up towards the heavens and pointing the other down towards the earth, he fearlessly sounded the Buddha's lion's roar. Above the heavens, below the heavens, I am the only one. Queen Maya gathered the long-awaited child into her arms, and as she did, the infant lapsed from all signs of special consciousness or power. However, the queen had heard and seen. That day, there could be no one happier than she, unless it was the Buddha himself. Though just a newborn child, he already looked on each deva, man, woman, child, animal, flower, tree, and stone with a parent's tender love. After many ages of sustained effort, he had at last come into life, prepared to aid them all.
Sutta 1, 2, 3 of the Middle Length Discourses, a little abbreviated, called Wonderful and Marvelous. And there is a refrain. So after each verse, we will together say wonderful and marvelous. Yeah.
Wonderful and marvelous.
Wonderful
And marvelous.
1. That mindful and fully aware, the Bodhisattva appeared in the Tusita heaven.
Wonderful and marvelous.
2. Mindful and fully aware, the Bodhisattva remained in the Tusita heaven.
Wonderful and marvelous.
4. The Bodhisattva passed away from the Tusita heaven and descended into his mother's womb.
Wonderful and marvelous.
5. When the Bodhisattva passed away from the Tusita heaven and descended into his mother's womb, then a great immeasurable light, surpassing the splendor of the gods, appeared in the world with its gods, its Maras, its Brahmas, in this generation with its recluses and Brahmins, with its princes and people. And even in those abysmal worlds, interspaces of vacancy, gloom, and utter darkness, where the moon and the sun, mighty and powerful as they are, cannot make their light prevail, there too, the great, immeasurable light, surpassing the splendor of the gods, appeared. And the beings born there perceived each other by that light.
Wonderful and marvelous.
6. When the Bodhisattva had descended into his mother's womb, 4 young deities came to guard him at the 4 quarters so that no humans or non-humans or anyone at all could harm the Bodhisattva or his mother.
Wonderful and marvelous.
7. When the Bodhisattva had descended into his mother's womb, she became intrinsically virtuous, refraining from killing living beings, from taking what is not given, from misconduct and sensual pleasures, from false speech, and from wines, liquors, and intoxicants, which are the basis of negligence.
Wonderful and marvelous.
8. When the Bodhisattva had descended into his mother's womb, no kind of affliction arose in her. She was blissful and free from bodily fatigue. She saw the Bodhisattva within her womb, with all his limbs lacking no faculty.
Wonderful and marvelous.
9. 7 days after the birth of the Bodhisattva, his mother died, and reappeared in the Tusita heaven.
Wonderful and marvelous.
10. The Bodhisattva's mother gave birth after carrying him in her womb for exactly 10 months.
Wonderful and marvelous.
11. The Bodhisattva's mother gave birth to him standing up.
Wonderful and marvelous.
12. When the Bodhisattva came forth from his mother's womb, he did not touch the earth. The 4 young gods received him and set him before his mother, saying, "Rejoice, O queen! A son of great power has been born to you."
Wonderful and marvelous.
13. When the Bodhisattva came forth from his mother's womb, he came forth unsullied, unsmeared by waters or humors or blood or any kind of impurity, clean and unsullied. Suppose there were a gem placed on kasi cloth, then the gem would not smear the cloth, or the cloth the gem. Why is that? Because of the purity of both.
Wonderful and marvelous.
14. As soon as the Bodhisattva was born, he stood firmly with his feet on the ground, and he took 7 steps north. And with a white parasol held over him, he surveyed each quarter and uttered the words of the leader of the herd. "I am the highest in the world. I am the best in the world. I am the foremost in the world. This is my last birth. Now there is no renewal of being for me."
Wonderful and marvelous.
15. When the Bodhisattva came forth from his mother's womb, then a great immeasurable light surpassing the splendor of the gods appeared in the world, with its gods, its Maras, and its Brahmas, in this generation with its recluses and Brahmins, with its princes and people. And even in those abysmal world interspaces of vacancy, gloom, and utter darkness, where the moon and the sun, mighty and powerful though they are, cannot make light prevail, there too, a great immeasurable light, surpassing the splendor of the gods, appeared, and the beings there perceived each other by its light.
Wonderful and marvelous.
16. That being so, Ananda, remember this too as a wonderful and marvelous quality of the Tathagata. Here, Ananda, feelings, the Tathagata knows feelings as they arise, as they are present, and as they disappear. Perceptions are known as they arise, as they are present, as they disappear. Thoughts are known as they arise, as they are present, as they disappear. Remember this too, Ananda, as a wonderful and marvelous quality of the Tathagata. Wonderful and marvelous.
3 times.
Wonderful and marvelous. Wonderful and marvelous.
Message from our Dharma Master Doan Sunam for this 2021 celebration of Buddha's birthday. Actually, it's way up there. What's the
2,000,
500?
565.
2,565. So from Doan Sunam, today we celebrate the 2565th birthday of Siddhartha Gautama Shakyamuni Buddha in a joyous and colorful occasion with chanting, meditation, sharing, reading scriptures, and offering lanterns with wishes for the happiness of all beings. Always, Buddha's birthday is a special occasion in which we do not only honor and express our gratitude for the Buddha's teachings of wisdom and compassion, but also it is our sincere celebration of the oneness of life. Meditation is concentration. Concentration is oneness. So says our guiding formula, a pithy formula with immense depth for us to truly develop. As we constantly say also in another of our main guidelines, the way of Buddha is no other than our everyday ordinary life. These two guidelines are very important in our tradition. Let's bring them both together. When we do things wholeheartedly, with respect and care, with our full attention, giving ourselves to it, this is a form of meditation practice. It is simply said, but rarely carried all day through the different circumstances and changes that make each of our days. To truly keep such a practice is to walk inch by inch the way of Buddha. To try over and over again diligently, in spite of our many distractions and shortcomings, to follow this guideline is to celebrate the Buddha's birthday and the oneness of life in every way, every day. This practice of constant mindfulness transforms us. As we practice, we move from our self-centered habits into being centered in the oneness of life. Selfishness leads inevitably to dissatisfaction. Let's be diligent. Let's celebrate the constant discovery and nourishing of our Buddha child within through this noble practice. It's overcast with a little rain this Buddha's birthday morning. Our 7 ducks who appeared yesterday, baby ones on our pond, have not yet returned this morning. Flags fly, lanterns hang, and spirits are full. Welcome in from the 10 directions. In this little room, there are 6 of us, plus 7, including Sogan, who is our wonderful technician. But welcome in wherever you are for this special occasion of Buddha's birthday. It's a little bit of a shadow of our usual Buddhist birthdays because of the pandemic. But I think the spirit has been really full this year. It's been a pleasure to be getting ready for this birthday. So for my talk, I would like to share 3 little stories. The first one is from our Jataka tale tradition. And I'm pretty sure some of you have heard it before, because we tell it at some time every Buddha's birthday. So it so happened that the Buddha, in his wanderings and teachings, came to a place, a forest, and he and his disciples settled down there. And those in the nearby town, to celebrate his arrival nearby, and also their appreciation of him, made lanterns to put along the path to the monastery, to the park where he was staying. And most of the lanterns were really elaborate. They had been made by the people who were very wealthy in the little town nearby. And so they lit the way, not only to his talk when it was still light, but then it would light the way home for those who were going through the dark. That's a metaphor for what lanterns do and who we are as lanterns too. So there were all these lanterns, and there was one woman in the little town who was quite poor. And she too felt from her very heart that she wanted to offer a lantern on the pathway to the Buddha. But she did not have the means to buy a lantern or buy the fancy materials to make one like the others had. So she was creative. She was a little ingenious. And first she went with her hands palm to palm to the potter and asked him if there was a little vessel which he might allow her to have so she could make a lamp for the pathway to the Buddha's talk. And the potter said, well, I don't have anything here in the shop, but there's many out on the pile in the back, which is where I put my seconds or my ones that are a little bit broken. You might find something there. And so she was very appreciative. She went around the back, and indeed, there were some really lovely seconds and thirds and duds. And she chose one carefully. It was quite small. And she cleaned it. And then she took it to the oil merchant's shop and said, I wish to make from this pot a lantern to light the way to and from the Buddha's talk. Could you please give me some oil? And the lantern person, the oil peddler, was sympathetic to this lady. He'd seen her around town. And so he gave her a little oil for the lantern. So precious. And then she went and put her pot down, and with some dry grass nearby, she braided 3 pieces of grass very tightly to make a little wick. And she put the wick in the oil in the little lantern. And she was so happy. Maybe you have experienced making do and producing something quite beautiful. Quite, what's the word? Perfectly imperfect. Yeah. So she had it, and she went to the pathway to where the Buddha was, and she saw all the other lanterns had been placed on either side. She put hers at the end with its little light lighted. And she went to hear the Buddha's talk. And she sat by the side and listened with all her heart and mind. And then she went home as everyone else did, their ways lighted by these lanterns. So just as we do in the morning, during the time of the wake up for the monastics, Mahamoggallana was the person responsible for going around to do the wake up and also to make sure everything was all right around the monastery. Here we make sure that in the morning that there's been nothing amiss, and at night we check to make sure doors are locked and no candles are left burning, and more. So Mahamoggallana was going around the monastery on his wake-up rounds, and he got to the pathway and he saw all the beautiful lanterns that had been put on the pathway either side, and that they all had gone out. And as he got to the end of the line of lanterns, he came to the one really small one. We know whose that one was, and the light was still going. And so he took like his rope, perhaps like my arm, and he just went swoosh, because not supposed to apparently blow. See, swoosh, and the light would not go out. He did it again and back and forth. He thought about trying to do something with his hand, but that wasn't the way they did it. So he went to the Buddha and he said, I have a kind of puzzling situation. There's a little lamp, the last one in the line, and it's still burning after all the night, and all the rest of the lanterns have burned out. I was trying to put it out. What should I do? And the Buddha, I know whose lantern that was. That's a poor lady from town. She always comes to my talk. Lantern out. Because by her very sincere offering, she demonstrates to us all strong heart and mind, sincere and humble. And he said, in his own words, I'm just saying something, you can't do better than that, and you can't blow it out. So this story, to me, is that we all have that same light within us. And it really cannot be blown out, but we just have to activate it. So that's what our practice is about. That was story number one. Story number two, from a friend. And I asked her when she told me it, could I please tell this story? She said, no. And I said, okay. And then a few days later, she wrote to me and said, I'm sorry I was so stingy with my story. Please tell the story if you want to. I said I wanted to tell it at Buddha's birthday. So now I have permission, and sometimes I've told stories without permission, and people have been not very happy. So this one got permission. So this friend is about 87 years old, and she lives in an apartment block in New York City. I think they're on the 55th floor. And her husband is a violinist, and he's in his early 90s. And I talk to her very frequently when I go for a walk. And she tells me about their life, that she really takes care of him. She's very devoted to it. She makes him a special breakfast that he likes while she makes another breakfast for herself. And then she makes a lunch for him, which he likes, and she makes another lunch for herself. And so it is for dinner. And she takes care of him. It's like during this pandemic, it's a beautiful service that she has. And she said that sometimes she'll look over at him and he'll be asleep. And she goes and pokes him a little because she's worried that he's died, you know? And so just recently, she said that he had taken her out for Mother's Day. And he'd been really perky. He'd been so grateful. She hadn't seen him shining so much in a long time. And they had a wonderful Mother's Day brunch. And I said to her, wow, how did he get so perky and so much gratitude and all of that? And I said, does he meditate? And she said, no. And so she said then, but I do. And you said, do you think that makes a difference to him and the way he is? She said, yes. She's been meditating for 50 years. That's a long time. And she says when she misses a day, she can tell, and so can he. So I just wanted to tell you that it's kind of a nice Buddhist birthday Mother's Day story. That just over and over again doing it. We think that we're doing it oftentimes for ourselves. It's important. But this dear husband knows that she's doing it for him too. All of us. Yeah. So every one of our efforts count. And then the third story is the story of this year's Buddhist birthday. Somehow we got it, a bee in our bonnets about Buddhist birthday this year. Not so long ago. Usually we're working a few months ahead to get ready for Buddhist birthday. I know in Toronto, when I've been there, they've been getting ready, starting to get ready for Buddhist birthday at the Winter Youngman Junction. They're making lanterns and they're making petals. And so about 2 weeks ago, as I say, we just started to get going on it, putting up decorations, planting the garden, and just 2 or 3 days ago, painting this back wall. Did you notice? Instead of being a kind of beautiful gray-white, it's kind of a beautiful shrine gold. Yeah. And for some reason, all of us got way more embodied. You know, the pandemic has left us often on Zoom a lot and sort of vegetating on our own a lot and not getting outside enough and not doing things with our whole physical body enough. And Buddhist birthday really got us into embodiment. It's really beautiful when that happens. And for instance, Hayun and I worked a lot together in preparation. We were out putting up flags. We were at a paint store because it takes a special kind of paint to do this wall. And Maum was working on dedications that people sent, and she's always kind of a backup person. But I must say, we all just have been outside more and together because we're all vaccinated. It's really quite lovely. So the third story about this year's Buddhist birthday is, here we are. And now with a more healthy country, as a possibility with the pandemic not such a big threat, that we all can keep getting better. That is my deepest real hope, that we all can do even better than before the pandemic, because I think there's been a silver lining to it. I could talk about some of mine, but I'd like you to reflect yours and then to embody the spunky spirit of your light in this life for the benefit of all beings. That's my Buddha's birthday encouragement. We can do it. Yeah. Okay. Now let me see what's next. We're going to have a special reading from one of our ancestors in Korea, Sanchul Sunum. He was a wonderful ancestor who gave me my meditation practice in 1983. And he has what I would call a very earthy Buddhist birthday message, which he wrote before he died. So let's listen deeply to this special message.
On Buddha's birthday. To all you noble Buddhas currently living in prison, happy birthday. To all you austere Buddhas selling your smiles in taverns, happy birthday. To you countless Buddhas twinkling in the night sky, happy birthday. And happy birthday to all of you brightly smiling, beautiful Buddhas in the gardens. To all Buddhas who have become endlessly changing clouds as you drift across the sky. To all you Buddhas who are quietly biding your time as boulders. A very happy birthday to you too. And happy birthday to all you cute little Buddhas swimming in the water. To all you lively Buddhas soaring about the skies. To all you reverential Buddhas singing hymns in churches. And to all you handsome Buddhas chanting in temples. To all you Buddhas hoeing and plowing the fields and paddies. To all Buddhas sweating in the humming factories. To all you Buddhas working in dust and dirt. And to all you Buddhas quietly studying in classrooms. Let me wish you all a very happy birthday. When I open my eyes, you are Buddha. When I close my eyes, you are Buddha. Every place in the universe is filled with Buddhas. Although we all have different guises and appearances, we're all manifestations of the same single Buddha. Everything is equal and everything is magnificent. So let's transcend our torments in this world of Buddhas and be happy. How marvelous that every single place is a site for liberation from suffering and ignorance. To all you Buddhas who, by wearing the gentle smile of compassion, deliver the Dharma in a sound even greater than thunder. To all you Buddhas who fill every corner of the universe. Every day is a wonderful day, and every day is our birthday. So let's all eternally respect and congratulate one another.
So we're going, if you have the order of service, we're going to change it. Instead of doing our chanting of Sugumani Bull and bathing the baby Buddha now, we're going to have our special offering of music. And then we'll do our own chanting and bathing of the baby Buddha with some final words after that. So I am hoping that now we are going to have Paramita, that needle, on our screen. And we talked about him doing 2 offerings of songs he's composed today. The first one is Happy Birthday Buddha. And the second one is Sunday Afternoon, which is a song for children of all ages. So I can see you on the screen, Parmita. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're a little faint.
I won't be able to hear you.
Oh, I can say anything I want. But I'm not sure if you can't hear me. Means
Well,
nobody.
now I can hear you, it seems.
Oh, I'm glad that I
I
checked.
understand everyone else is going to be able to hear you. Yeah. So do you want to begin?
Can you nod if you can hear me? Can you? You can. Bowing is good. Bowing is just as good as nodding. So the wonderful thing about being so late in the program is I can imagine that everybody who is still here really wants to be here. And that is a good thing. I want to thank, if I have, so I don't know, so Tong San and Maun and Jagwa and Hayam, if I'm saying that right. And of course, Venerable Hajjusani, thank you for hosting this and putting this all together, for all your hard work. So we will do some music now. And I was hoping, usually for this Happy Birthday Buddha song, the suggestions for all the infinite things that have Buddha nature, or are Buddha nature, or are and are not Buddha nature, or however you want to stir that up, usually come from children, and they suggest it. And I'll say, how about, and somebody will suggest it. But there aren't any children on the screen, and we aren't in a gallery thing. So I as soon as I realized that coming on, I went into very, very deep samadhi, meditation, and through that was able to have a pipeline to children hanging out in the Tushta heaven right now. Those children are just like other children. There are three things they don't have. They do not have video games or any internet, and they don't have homework. So they have lots of time to think about what might have Buddha nature. It's a lot of what they do. So I will try to channel them spontaneously, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we start with the dog though. Does a dog have Buddha nature? Buddha nature. Wait, is this piano? How's the piano vocal balance? Can you hear my voice and the piano? Everything's okay? Buddha nature. Does a dog have Buddha nature? Buddha nature. Buddha nature. Happy birthday, Buddha. Happy birthday, Buddha. Happy birthday, Buddha. 'Cause Buddha's birthday's always every day. 'Cause Buddha's birthday's always every day. Even now. Even now. Now! Push to heaven. Children, how about a refrigerator? Does a refrigerator have Buddha nature? Have Buddha nature? Have Buddha nature? Does a refrigerator have Buddha nature? Buddha nature. Buddha nature. Happy birthday, Buddha. Happy birthday, Buddha. Happy birthday, Buddha. 'Cause Buddha's birthday's always every day. 'Cause Buddha's birthday's always every day. Even now. Even now. Now, how about a vampire? Vampire. Oh, what a coincidence. I happen to have a vampire. It's really, well, how'd that happen? Tushta heaven, Worcester, Massachusetts. Tushta, Worcester, Worcester, Tushta. Maybe, that could be it. Okay, all right, I don't know if he'll sit, but we can hold him up at the right moment. Does a vampire have Buddha nature? Buddha nature. I don't know Buddha nature. What do you think? Does a vampire have Buddha nature? Buddha nature. Buddha nature. Oh, blood, 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 blood. Happy birthday, Buddha. Get out here. Happy birthday, Buddha. Happy birthday, Buddha. The Buddha's birthday's always every day. 'Cause Buddha's birthday's always every day. Even now. Even now. Okay, I think that now Okay, I think that we're done, but what? What do you mean one more? Hold on. Be patient. No, not that. No. Oh, come on, really? A toilet paper roll. These kids, see, no homework? That's what happens. Fortunately, I have a toilet paper roll. Yay! It's not even used. It's great toilet paper roll. Does a toilet paper roll have Buddha nature? Buddha nature, Buddha nature. Does a toilet paper roll have Buddha nature? Buddha nature, Buddha nature. Happy birthday, Buddha. Happy birthday, Buddha. Happy birthday, Buddha. 'Cause Buddha's birthday's always every day. 'Cause Buddha's birthday's always every day. Even now. Now! So now I know why they call it the Tush to Heaven. Anyway, thank you. So we're going to do another song. The song is for young people, as Hajjasinim says, for all ages. That's called a non-discriminating mind of all ages. Okay? Yes, that's good. I'm rapping. That's good. I'm with that. All ages. So it's about a young person who discovers Zen meditation and the response of their family and friends. There we go. My older sister thinks that I'm lazy. My younger brother thinks that I'm crazy. My mother and father, they don't even bother to ask why I'm alone in my room doing Zen meditation on a Sunday afternoon. It wasn't all that hard to begin. At first, I just sat down for a minute. I watched my breath going in and out of my nose. And then, when my mind started wandering, I would bring it back again, bring it back again, bring it back again. My older sister thinks that I'm lazy. My younger brother thinks that I'm crazy. My mother and father, they don't even bother to ask why I'm alone in my room doing Zen meditation on a Sunday afternoon. I didn't need a whole lot of pushing to get myself a mat and a cushion. The peace and quiet improves my diet and soothes my stress. I confess I'm worrying less and less, worrying less and less, worrying less and less. My older sister thinks that I'm lazy. My younger brother thinks that I'm crazy. My Zen meditation on a Sunday afternoon. A tiny Buddha figure with candle. A shiny incense burner with candles. My little altar is my Gibraltar when things get tough. What's so rough when breathing is enough, breathing is enough, breathing is enough. My older sister thinks that I'm lazy. My younger brother thinks that I'm crazy. My mother and father, they don't even bother to ask why I'm alone in my room doing Zen meditation on a Sunday afternoon. My room's become a regular Zen dome. I might as well just sell my Nintendo. My friends don't get it, but I don't let it disturb my poise. Girls and boys need a break from all the noise, break from all the noise, break from all the noise. My older sister thinks that I'm lazy. You know the words, now sing along. My younger brother thinks that I'm crazy. My mother and father, they don't even bother to ask why I'm alone in my room doing Zen meditation on a Sunday. I think I'll take it up on Monday, doing Zen meditation on a Sunday afternoon. Thank you. I will bow out. Happy birthday, Buddha.
Oh. No, because he lived at the temple and he composed most of the songs at the temple. So, and he's such a character and such a storyteller, as you can tell. And it was really an amazing time. Yeah. So again, thanks so much, Paramito. I remember our choir, we had a children's choir at that time, singing that at Buddha's birthday. You may have been here. They were on the steps over at the temple, and my own daughter, Gomani, was they each took a turn singing one of the verses. So, you know, I remember her so well. I wish I could get her to sing it again, but no. That makes me very happy. So let's see where we are now. So it is then that on this occasion, we chant the name of Buddha in our tradition, Sugha Munipul, and we do the bathing of the Buddha in appreciation for our own encounter with Buddhism and Buddhism's encounter with us, and the teachings and practices which have become part of our sweat and part of our marrow and just part of our very essence. So let's stand up for a change. And we haven't actually figured out how we're going to do this, but yeah, that's good. It's in you. So then I'm just going to do a little demonstration of the bathing, and then we'll just kind of go around in front of the camera all of us chanting Sukhmani Bull. And if you have something set up at home where you can bathe the baby Buddha, or maybe you can, if you just have the Buddha, you can go by and touch, so that you have a little connection that's one of appreciation for your Buddhist journey. So when you get to the Buddha, we make a bow and then pick up the bathing ladle. I have to show you this bathing ladle because I really like it, and it's really old. So see this? So it was an old spoon that we had, and my daughter again, Gomani, and Wansho worked together, and they glued these buttons on, and then they put all this. And that was like about 25 years ago. So this good old spoon with the buttons on it is our bathing ladle. It's our tradition at this temple to have this one. So we go over and we carefully get some of the specialty which has been blessed before the altar. And then we, just with all care and attention as we would if we were with a baby, a special baby. Babies open our hearts, making bow in appreciation for the gifts, the Dharma gifts we have received. And put it back. You just take it slow and then going on with Sukhmani Bull, Lama chants. So let's just chant for a couple of minutes, and then would you start with the bathing, please? Sukhmani Bull, 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 Sukhmani So, as we near the end of the service, is going to make some announcements and read some of the lantern dedications we have received, and we will be hanging outside on our porch and in the garden for the next month. So it's never too late to make a lantern dedication, send it to us, or bring it to us. Both have been done in the last few days. Oh,
So I invite you to continue your Buddha's birthday celebration all day long. And one of the things that you can do is write a lantern dedication. And Tong-san is going to bring it close and show it to you. Closer, closer, go right up by the camera. Thank you. So this is what it looks like. And if you want to send your dedication to the temple, we will put it on one of these lotuses and hang it from the lamps that are around our tree. Or you can hang it, you can, look at the camera. You can hang it on a tree or on a balcony or something like that. So let me read a few. Dedication to end suffering of all children and sentient beings. I dedicate my deepest intentions to the people of the earth, for the weathering of this pandemic, for the search for fairness, and for the increase in well-being for all. Hugs and kisses for all, dear Buddha. This one's particularly lovely. It's one of those bats that sort of like the vampire that we were singing about. Dedicated to Bob Brown and all those who care for the children of others as if they were their own. To the well-being of the temple animals, from the baby ducks to the chickens to the groundhogs, and even the bunnies who munch at the kale seedlings. Brazil, Colombia, Afghanistan, India, Turkey, Palestine, Israel, so many more. Police violence. Wishing for many new beginnings for humans, animals, and plants. Happy birthday, Buddha. So please write your lantern dedications. Take a moment to reach out to someone who is special to you, who maybe you have not spoken with for a while. And then this evening at 8 p.m., join us for the special lantern ceremony, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. This will be hosted by our Chicago temple, and many of us here in Ann Arbor will participate with readings as well. So we're grateful for financial donations that we received this Buddha's birthday, and for your generous donations of time, working in the garden, just sending us greetings, and we send our love to all of you. So.
When is the next meditation course?
Oh, the next meditation course begins May 27th in a few weeks. It's a 4 Thursday evening meditation.
Is there anything else like that that we should remind
Oh,
everyone of?
yes. Oh, of course. I need my prompter here today. So, indeed, every Wednesday evening, we have members sitting via Zoom, and we welcome people to join us from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Just let the temple know, and we'll send you the link. On Wednesday mornings, we have a Zoom study group, Way of the Bodhisattva, and we would like to have you join that as well. Every Sunday, please come visit us. And someday soon, we hope to have a canopy up, so we'll be able to offer some of our services outside, but we'll always be here on Zoom at 10 o'clock for those who can join us that way.
Talk about
Talk about the park. Okay. So, yes, we have started meditation in the park. 6 a.m. almost every morning. Monday, Tuesday, we skip Wednesday. We're in the park Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So Burns Park, you can meet us at the temple at 6 so that we can walk to the park to sit, or you can meet us at the park at 6:10. You're welcome to join us for midday meditation. Come to the Sangha House, and we'll meditate outside 11:45 to 12:15 p.m. And join us for evening meditation at the Sangha House, again, outside at 6:30 p.m. So hope to see you soon. Any others I've missed? All right, thank you.
I'd like to just encourage everyone to write in the chat where you're watching from this morning, and any comments or expletives, etc., on this Buddha's birthday celebration 2565. So keep the day going, as Mom said, and remember, every day is Buddha's birthday. We've got work to do, friends. Get embodied. Let's do it. Yeah. So, sixfold harmony of the spring wind Sangha. And that's our overall Sangha, all of our temples and our farm. To be harmonious with and respectful of each other in action. To be harmonious with and respectful of each other in words. To be harmonious with and respectful of each other in thoughts and feelings. To be harmonious with and respectful of each other in preserving precepts. To be harmonious with and respectful of each other in doctrinal views and explanations. To be harmonious with and respectful of each other in practice, deeds, studies, and charity. So as we end, we'll end with our singing of No Coming, No Going 3 times through. Please join us if you like. No coming, no going, no after, no before. I hold you close to me. I release you to be so free, because I am in you and you are in me. Because I am in you and you are in me. No coming, no going, no after, no before. I hold you close to me. I release you to be so free, because I am in you and you are in me. Because I am in you and you are in me. One more time. No coming, no going, no after, no before. I hold you close to me. I release you to be so free, because I am in you and you are in me. Because I am in you and you are in me. And let's stand now and do 3 prostrations. To all you Buddhas out there, come on in, get in so we can have you two. And Sogan, can you come too?
Yes, Sogan.
Yeah.
We need you.
It's really wonderful to all be together because we haven't done this before. All right. So, wow, we need to get a picture too. Sogan, I cannot see you. There we go. Okay. Together. Bye.
Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday, Buddhas.
Happy birthday. Let's greet